This video will be about adding and subtracting radicals, and it'll also be about rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so we're going to do both of those. So first of all, the rules for adding and subtracting. Your radical must be the same. For you to be able to add, what's underneath the radical must be the same. Okay, if it's the same, you just add the numbers in front of it, or subtract. If the number's the same, you subtract the number in front of it. In other words, a square root of 2 can go with a square root of 2, but it can't go with a square root of 3. A square root of 5 can go with a square root of 5, but you can now not add a square root of 5 plus a square root of 7. So let's try some here. 7 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 2. These are the same. Okay, so I just add my 7 plus 5, and I get 12 square root of 2. Okay, 2 square root of 5 minus 6 square root of 5. These are the same. So 2 minus 6 gives me negative 4 square root of 5. Now remember, when you're doing that, be sure that you are reducing your radicals first, because sometimes you'll have a radical like square root of 12 that can be reduced. Always reduce first, then look and see if you can add them or not. If the radicals are the same, you can add them or subtract them. And the last thing we're going to look at is called rationalizing the denominator. The denominator cannot have radicals, okay? It can no longer contain any radicals. So when we have 15 over square root of 6, nothing will reduce right now, and that square root of 6 cannot stay on the bottom. So here's how you get rid of it. You multiply the top and the bottom by square root of 6. So on top, we get 15 times square root of 6, which is 15 square root of 6. On bottom, square root of 6 times square root of 6 is square root of 36, which is 6. Now, before we're done, we need to look at one thing. Don't worry about the radical. Just look at these numbers. Will they reduce? Yes. 3 goes into that 5 times, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So the final answer they want to see is the reduced answer, 5 square root of 6 over 2. Okay, let's look at another one. The next one we have square root of 3/5. So break it apart, square root of 3 over square root of 5. Now the square root of 3 on top is okay, but for some reason they don't like radicals on the bottom. We have to get rid of square root of 5. Okay, so we're going to multiply by square root of 5 over square root of 5. Square root of 3 times square root of 5 is square root of 15. Now see, up here we didn't do that. One of them wasn't in the radical, but one of them was. So we left the 15 on the outside and the 6 underneath, but here they're both under the radical, so you multiply and get square root of 15. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is square root of 25, which is 5. And this will not reduce, so you leave it square root of 15 over 5.